Hello viewers, welcome all of you to a very useful and interesting topic. What the topic is about? Let me give certain clues from which you can find out the topic about which we are going to cover the presentation. It is a service which is a step towards a completely digitalized environment. It is banking from anywhere to everywhere. It adds to the convenience of both the banker and the customer. It reduces cost of effecting the banking transaction. And it influences the customer's selection of the bank. Perhaps this is the second important factor in selecting a banker by the customer. Yes, it is mobile banking. Banking transactions effected through the use of mobile device or smartphone. Having introduced the topic, let me introduce myself and the scope of video presentation. I am Dr. Sugunalakshmi, Associate Professor and Research Advisor of PG and Research Department of Commerce, Sita Lakshmi Ramaswamy College, Tiruchirappalli. And regarding the scope of presentation, it covers the concept of mobile banking, the transactions that can be effected through mobile banking, the types of mobile banking services, the difference between mobile banking and mobile payment, the advantages and limitations of mobile banking, safety tips for effecting secure mobile banking transactions, and recent trend in mobile banking in India. What is mobile banking? Mobile banking is a service provided by bank or other financial institution that enables its customers to conduct financial transaction remotely using a mobile device such as a smartphone or tablet. Unlike the related internet banking, mobile banking uses a software called an application for this purpose. This mobile banking service is available on 24/7 basis. And some of the banks and financial institutions have imposed certain restrictions on the type of account that can avail mobile banking service, and they have imposed certain restrictions on the amount that can be transacted through mobile banking. And the various types of mobile banking services provided by the bank take the form of services through mobile application and mobile banking services through SMS and mobile banking service through USSD. Mobile banking has been highly useful in times like COVID-19 as it has been successful in promoting social distancing policies and has been providing 24/7 banking access to its customers. And this COVID-19 has been a second catalyst after demonetization in promoting the shift of the banking customers from availing physical banking facilities to digital platforms like using mobile wallets and mobile banking. The different types of mobile banking services offered by banks usually takes three forms. Mobile banking service through an application such as SBI YONO, ICICI iMobile, and mobile banking service through SMS. This is called as SMS banking, and mobile banking through USSD, unstructured supplementary service data. So let us see the services that are provided under each one of these categories. First category is services through mobile banking application such as SBI YONO and iMobile of ICICI. So this banking application enables the customers to have an access to the account information. Information is power. With the help of information about the account history, account balances, the customer can have better control over his funds. It facilitates good control over his funds, the movement of funds. Through this service, he can obtain the latest transactions, a list of latest transactions. He can view the account balance. He can obtain e-statement. He can get e-passbook, and he can obtain loan statements and card statements. So besides knowing the accounting information, he can effect transfer of funds. So through the application, mobile application, he can effect transfer transaction, transfer of funds from one bank account to another bank account, and transfer of funds from his own account, one account to another account. For example, transfer of funds from savings bank account to the current bank account, and transfer of funds to third parties. The transfer of funds to third parties can be effected by adding the names of third parties under the group of beneficiaries so as to facilitate easy transfer of funds without involving much time. Transfer transactions also include payment to third parties like bill payments and rent payments. Then giving standing instructions for periodic payments like payment of insurance premium and subscriptions which ought to be made periodically. Then it covers payments via National Electronic Fund Transfer (NEFT), IMPS, Immediate Payment Service, UPI, Unified Payment Interface, and MMID, Mobile Money Identifier. Mobile Money Identifier is a 7-digit code which are issued by the banker that correlates the transaction with a mobile number. Besides making the transfer transactions, one can also make investments through mobile banking applications. That is, one can open fixed deposit or recurring deposits, and they can effect mutual fund transactions. That is, they can invest in mutual funds. Then through mobile banking application, they can also avail, that is, the customers can also avail certain other services for which he or she need not visit the banking premises. We have certain queries which cannot be addressed by the banker because we don't find time to visit the bank branch. So in such cases, we can make use of the mobile application. So here we can get clarification for certain queries. Like identifying the ATM locators, finding out the ATM locations, branch locations, and lodging compliance, and for tracking applications. Further, for ordering a new checkbook and for cancellation of the already issued check. Along with mobile applications, most banks offer SMS banking. That is, they are rendering services through over SMS. This service is useful for those who do not have smartphones or internet connection. This SMS banking includes obtaining balance inquiry, getting mini statement, transfer of funds from one account to another account, block ATM card or a credit card, block a credit card, and inquiry about foreign exchange rates, making inquiry about interest rate on fixed deposit and savings deposit accounts. And these SMS banking is often effected through push message and pull messages. Push messages are created or initiated by the bank at the time when a fund is transferred from the account of the customer or when money is withdrawn by the customer. So this is given as a reminder SMS to the customers. And pull message is often created by the customers for tracking information about the balance information, that is account balance, and also to cancel the check already issued by him. An example for push message is OTP, one-time password, is an example for push message that falls within the periphery of SMS banking or mobile banking. Mobile banking over USSD, unstructured supplementary service data, and it is a type of communication through which one can avail basic banking services. There is no need for owning a smartphone or having an internet connection for this service. It allows services like balance inquiry and transfer of funds. Star 99 hash, a USSD based mobile banking service, has been launched by NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India, which is supported in 51 leading banks in India. The services offered by Star 99 hash payment option includes balance inquiry, mini statement, transfer of funds via Aadhaar number, account number, via MMID, mobile money identified. As I have already told you, it is a 7-digit unique number given by the respective bank. And further, the star 99 hash option can also be used for changing the MPIN and generating OTP and for obtaining or knowing MMID. Mobile banking services include obtaining the account balances, getting the list of latest transactions, effecting transfer of funds between accounts and transfer of funds to third parties, and making payment of insurance bills, subscription amounts, checking multiple accounts, giving 24/7 account access, and obtaining electronic passbook, lodging compliant with the banker, etc. etc. Difference between mobile banking and mobile payment. A mobile banking transaction is a transaction between the banker and customer, while a mobile payment is a transaction between buyer and seller. The mobile payment involves the use of mobile apps, mobile wallets for the purpose of making payment either at the point of sale or remotely using the debit card and credit card. And some of the topmost mobile wallets that are being used by the customers in India or the buyers in India are Freecharge, PhonePe, GPay, MobiKwik, Amazon Pay, Paytm, Freecharge and Payzap. Mobile banking offers numerous advantages. Some of the advantages are convenience. Mobile banking is highly convenient. It is convenient to the banker as well as to the customer. The customer need not visit the branch for making transactions. Similarly, it reduces the time of the customer and time of the banker in processing the account information. Then it is time saving. It saves the time of both the banker and the customer. Then it is banking on the go. We can make the mobile banking transaction from anywhere to everywhere. That is, irrespective of the place where we are, we can effect the banking transactions. That is, we can transact the mobile banking transfer from a railway station or from the airport or at the back seat of the cab. It does not even require desktop or laptop for making the transfer. Then it is easy to monitor. We can have good control over our finances. It facilitates better financial control and it protects our account from frauds. Then it facilitates budgeting. It is good for budgeting because we are having good control over our account balances. We can get the account information. We are having the account information at our fingertips. So it facilitates budgeting and restricts or cuts short the unnecessary expenditure by having a look into the credit balance available in the account. And then it is safety. It is safe banking because the bankers often, while designing the application, uses encryption for protecting the account of the customer. Then it facilitates the deposit of the check. With the help of the mobile application and the mobile device, we can send the digital check and we can transmit the digital check via our cameras, that is the device's camera. With the help of mobile banking, we can even apply for a loan whether it is personal loan or car loan. We can download the application from the mobile application and we can send it back to the banker. So it facilitates application for loan. Then finally, this mobile banking is a step towards green banking initiative. It is environmental friendly because it does not require the use of paper. It is paperless banking. Just as the coin has two sides, mobile banking is also not without its limitations. The limitations of the mobile banking include these points. It is available, the mobile banking service is available on high-end smartphone only. Suppose if the customer does not have a high-end smartphone, then the use of mobile banking service is restricted. That is for effecting fund transfer between accounts, and particularly for making investment transaction, smartphone is required. This is a necessary prerequisite. If the customer does not have a high-end smartphone, then the scope of the banking services, mobile banking services, gets restricted there. Then mobile banking users are facing the risk of getting fake SMS. Then finally, loss of mobile device. When a mobile device is lost, and when particularly the criminals are having access to the mobile phone, then they can steal the mobile banking information, they can steal the password, and you are losing the safety aspect. The advantages of mobile banking are numerous and it outweigh the disadvantages, that is to say outweigh the limitations. Some of these few limitations can be overcome by using certain safety measures. These include adopting safety habits. Adopting safety habits means we should not resort to certain things. That is to say, never store your account information, debit card and credit card details or pins on the mobile set. Never store username and passwords for automatic login. Even though automatic login promotes fast access, it invites potential hazards. Then use a safe network connection. Always use the mobile service providers network services, network connection, and don't use public Wi-Fi hotspot. If at all you will have to use public Wi-Fi hotspot, it means you have to install a VPN software. A VPN software, it protects yourself from the risk of frauds. Then use a licensed antivirus software. When you buy a licensed antivirus software, you buy a product key, and this product key this can be used only by you, and nobody can steal this for making changes in the software. Then subscribe for push message notification from the banker, because this often reminds you of a transaction that is carried out in your account, so that you can receive alerts, and if at all any risk is faced in your account, you can remind the banker of the same and you can protect your account. Then avoid signing via third-party websites. It is not advisable to signing into your account through third-party websites. Always use official websites. Never send your account information through a text message. Then set a screen lock pattern for your mobile. And usually you have passwords which are strong, including characters and special characters. Always use official websites, because nowadays there have been a proliferation of repackaged websites which may bring in malware. Therefore, always use official websites. The next one is don't click on malicious links which may direct you to phishing sites. Don't follow a link sent through email or text message. Always navigate to a website directly and type the link in into your browser, or enter your bank's web address into your phone and bookmark it. A secure connection website URL. A secure website URL always begins with HTTPS. not HTTP. S stands for Secure Socket Layer Connection. Another sign to look for ensuring the safety of the website is to look for the lock icon displayed in the web browser. Use social media judiciously. Nowadays, social medias have become hunting ground for the scammers. Therefore, never click on the post that you are not sure of or the links that may redirect you to phishing site, because these sites could rob off your phone book and may steal the information stored in your mobile set. Then finally, don't share your financial details such as the CVV code of your debit card and credit card. An analysis over mobile banking transactions over the period from 2012 to 2020. This is from RBI data. According to the above data from RBI reports, it can be observed that the growth in the number of mobile banking transactions in the years 2012 to 2014 have been very minimal. But after the launch of the Digital India program in the year 2015, there was a sudden increase in the number of transactions, that is 386 million in 2015 to 2016, almost double than that of the previous year, that is 171.9 million transactions in 2014 to 15. Later, in the year 2016 to 17, mobile banking transactions grew from 386.6 million transactions in 2015 to 16 to 976.85 million transactions. The post-demonetization period has shown increasing mobile banking post-demonetization period has shown increasing trends in the number of mobile banking transactions when compared to the pre-demonetization period. It is believed that demonetization was one of the catalysts for mobile banking in India, followed by the COVID-19 pandemic in India. Mobile banking transactions in the month of January 2020 were 14,402.70 lakh, that is 1,440.27 million, and in June it shooted up to 16,188 lakh volume transactions. Total number of transactions from January 2020 to June 2020 were 84,602 lakhs, that is 8,460.2 million. Hence, COVID-19 is considered as one of the largest catalysts after demonetization and to promote the adoption of mobile banking in India. The twin major factors, namely increase in the number of the smartphone users and internet users, they are serving as building blocks for the promotion of mobile banking in India. Being the second largest mobile users in Asia, India has great potential for development of mobile banking in India, as the increase in the number of mobile phones have been very useful in promoting virtual banking transactions in India. And to conclude, mobile banking has great opportunity to develop the banking infrastructure in India, and it is the most leading and successful product essential for the development of any growth of any developing country, and it's really a boon to the customers. And we can even say that mobile banking is the self-service empowerment of the customers without depending too much on the bank staff. Thank you for watching.